The medical station on the alien moon Rava-9 was usually calm. The hallways glowed with soft blue lights, and the air smelled like clean metal and warm herbs. But today, the quiet peace broke. An emergency alarm rang through the station. Nurse. Nursa, a tall alien woman with glowing blue skin and silver eyes, turned her head toward the door. The emergency lights flashed red across her face. She sensed something serious was happening. Her species was known for staying calm in danger, but even she felt her heart beat faster. A group of miners pushed through the door, carrying a stretcher. On the stretcher lay a wounded human, Evan Carter, a 27-year-old engineer from Earth. His clothes were burned, his body covered with dust, and his breathing was weak and uneven. Nursa stepped forward immediately. "Put him here," she said in a soft but firm voice. The miners lifted Evan carefully onto the healing table. As soon as they moved away, the table lit up with white healing lines that scanned his body. "What happened?" Nursa asked. "A gas pipe exploded in the mining tunnels," one miner said, still shaking. "He was the closest. He pushed 3 of us away and took the full blast. We thought he was dead." Nursa nodded slowly. Humans were new to this moon. Only a few worked with the alien species, and most aliens still did not fully understand human bodies. The miners left, and the door closed. Silence returned. Nursa gently placed her glowing hand on Evan's chest. His heartbeat was fast but strong. She exhaled in relief. "He is alive," she whispered. She activated the table scanner. A soft humming sound filled the room as blue rings moved from his head to his feet. The screen beside her began showing internal images of Evan's bones, muscles, and organs. Nursa had scanned humans before, but this one was different. His body looked stressed. His lungs were damaged, and his muscles were tense like stretched wires. But something else caught her eye. A flashing red symbol appeared on the lower part of the scan screen. "Warning. Unknown inflammation detected." Nursa frowned. She touched the screen gently, zooming in on the lower body area. The scanner highlighted a region between the human's legs. Her eyes widened. The scanner beeped louder. "Strange. Very strange," she whispered. She leaned closer to Evan and used her diagnostic wand. The wand glowed softly as she moved it near his lower abdomen. The swelling reacted. It moved. Nursa jumped back slightly. Her species rarely showed fear, but this shocked her. She looked at the screen again. The scanner displayed a fast-growing heat pattern in that area. "Is this an infection? A parasite, maybe?" She murmured. She had studied human biology before. But humans were full of surprises. Their bodies healed fast, got sick fast, and reacted strongly to stress. But this reaction was unusual. She tried touching the area lightly, only through his clothes. Carefully. The swelling reacted again. It grew bigger for a moment. Nursa's silver eyes went wide. "This is not normal?" "Not normal at all," she whispered. For the first time in years, she felt confused. And confusion for a nurse could be dangerous. She stepped back and activated the HFY station's emergency medical protocol. The room's lights turned from blue to bright orange. "A warning." Voice spoke. "Unknown biological event detected. Staff assistance requested." Footsteps echoed in the hallway. 2 more alien nurses entered the room, both looking worried. "What happened, Nursa?" one asked. She pointed at the holographic screen. "Look, the human's body is showing a strange inflammation. It is growing, reacting, moving." The 2 nurses leaned closer. Their faces turned pale, a difficult thing for their glowing species. "Is something inside him?" the younger nurse asked nervously. "A parasite?" The other whispered. Nursa shook her head. "I do not know yet, but the swelling is active, and it reacts to touch." All 3 nurses stared at the human's body with fear and curiosity. They had heard stories about humans being strong, emotional, and unpredictable. But this was Something new. As they studied the screen, Evan suddenly moved. Just a small twitch in his hand, but enough to make the nurses flinch. Evan's breathing grew louder. His eyes were still closed, but his face tightened as if he were in pain. His heart rate went up on the monitor. He is waking, nurses said. But the inflammation, what if it hurts him more when he wakes up? The younger nurse asked. Nursa shook her head. We must keep him calm. If it is some kind of infection, panic will make it worse. She stepped closer and placed her hand gently on Evan's forehead. It's okay, she whispered. You are safe. You are in the Rava 9 medical station. Evan's eyes opened, just a little blurry, confused. He saw 3 glowing alien figures staring at him with shocked, worried faces. He blinked slowly. What? What's wrong? He whispered weakly. Nursa hesitated. How could she explain? Her voice trembled for the first time ever. As she replied, Human, something is happening to your body. Something we do not understand. The scanner beeped again, louder this time. All 3 nurses stared. The inflammation had grown again, and the suspense began. The medical room was no longer calm. The soft blue lights had turned sharp orange, and a warning tone pulsed through the air like a heartbeat. Nursa stood frozen for a moment, staring at the scanner screen. The inflammation on the human patient Evan was getting bigger. And it was happening fast. The other 2 alien nurses, Relly and Mavos, appeared nervous. Their species did not sweat, but the glowing lines on their skin dimmed when stressed. Right now, all of their lines were faint. Nursa swallowed. We must keep a clear mind. Humans are strange. Their biology is full of surprises. But a swelling that moves? Relly asked, voice shaking. It reacts like it is alive inside him. Mavo stepped closer cautiously. What if it is a creature? The tunnels he worked in had many unknown organisms. Something might have entered his body during the accident. Evan's eyes opened a little more. He still looked confused, his vision blurry, his breathing unsteady. He felt pain all over, but he could hear the fear in their voices. He forced out a whisper. What's happening? Nursa quickly stepped forward. Do not move, Evan. You suffered an explosion accident. We are treating you. But your body, it is showing a reaction we do not understand. Evan blinked several times, trying to focus. A reaction? Relly pointed the scanner wand toward his lower body again. The device beeped rapidly. The swelling is increasing, she said, stepping back like it might jump at her. Evan closed his eyes in embarrassment. He knew what they were talking about, but he was too weak and dizzy to explain properly. Meanwhile, the nurses only saw danger. Mavos tapped on the holographic screen. The heat signature is rising. This could be an infection, or a parasite feeding on his blood flow. Nursa nodded slowly. His body might be fighting something. Humans react strongly to stress. But this is too strong. Evan tried to lift his hand. No parasite. But his voice was too weak. The nurses leaned in, but they misunderstood. He is in pain, Nursa said. The reaction is affecting him mentally too. Evan coughed. No, listen. It's before he could finish. A sudden jolt of pain shot through his leg due to his earlier injuries. His body jerked. The swelling reacted again. It grew for a moment. Relly screamed softly and jumped back. It moved. It moved again. It grows when his body moves. Mavos grabbed a disinfectant injector. Should we freeze it? We could stop the growth with a cold shot. Nursa shook her head. We don't know what it will do. If it is part of his body, freezing it may harm him. If it is an organism, freezing may make it violent. The scanner beeped louder. The swelling was now highlighted bright red. Evan opened one eye. Please, he whispered. It's normal. But the nurses did not understand his weak mumbling. He is losing strength, Nursa said, worry in her voice. We must act quickly before it spreads. The three aliens began preparing emergency tools: scanners, sprays, nerve blockers, and vibration wands. Evan watched weakly, panic rising in his chest. They looked like they were preparing for surgery. "No, don't," he whispered, but they moved fast. Relly pulled the holographic sheet over his lower body for privacy, but she was clearly afraid of what might be under it. Mavos held the stabilizer tool, a device that froze muscle movement instantly. "If it's a parasite, this will stop it," Mavos said. Nursa took a deep breath. "I will examine it directly. I am the most experienced with humans here." She moved closer, her glowing hand hovering above the sheet. Her heart raced. She had delivered alien babies, treated venom wounds, and even stopped a plasma burn from spreading once, but she had never faced something like this. Slowly, she lifted the sheet. The swelling was clearly visible, pressing upward, reacting again as the air touched it. Her glowing silver eyes went wide. "It is connected to his body," she said in a trembling voice. "Not separate. Not an external organism." "So it grew inside him?" Relly gasped. "Like a pod or an egg?" Mavos dropped his stabilizer device. "An egg? No, that cannot be. What if it hatches?" The room filled with fear. Evan tried to speak again, louder this time. But his body was too weak. "Stop, it's not dangerous." But Nursa only heard, "Stop, dangerous." She looked at her fellow nurses. "We need more help. Call the emergency team." Relly ran to the wall panel and slammed the alarm button. The station's emergency sirens blared. A loud robotic voice echoed through the halls. "Unknown human biological threat detected. Medical team respond immediately." Evan groaned and covered his face with one hand. This was becoming a nightmare. Soon, heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway outside. The door slid open, and two alien medics rushed in wearing protective suits. "What is the threat?" one asked. Nursa pointed stiffly. "The human's lower body is showing rapid swelling and unknown heat patterns." The two medics scanned the area, then exchanged nervous glances. One whispered, "It looks aggressive." Evan coughed again. "It's not aggressive, it's normal." His voice cracked with embarrassment. Nursa leaned closer. "Evan, stay calm. We will save you. Just please do not move." The swelling reacts to motion. The medic turned to Nursa. "Should we sedate him?" Nursa thought for a moment. "If he moves, it grows. If he panics, it grows. Yes. Sedation may help." Evan's eyes widened. No sedation, no listen. But he was too weak. The medic injected a soft sedative into his arm. His eyelids grew heavy. Nursa placed her hand on his shoulder. "It is all right. We will find the cause, whatever it is." But just as Evan started to drift into sleep, the swelling reacted again, stronger than ever, making all of them jump back in shock. The fear in the room doubled. And the misunderstanding grew deeper. Evan lay half sedated on the medical bed. His vision blurred. His thoughts floated like fog drifting through broken windows. He knew exactly what the aliens misunderstood, but he could not speak clearly anymore. Every time he opened his mouth, only a whisper came out. Meanwhile, the alien medical room was filled with pure panic. The nurses, medics, and analysts surrounded his bed like a group of scientists studying a dangerous creature inside a cage. Their glowing bodies dimmed and brightened nervously, like flickering lamps. Nursa held a scanner in her hand, her eyes locked on the swelling on Evan's lower body. The scanner beeped rapidly, flashing red symbols that meant unknown. Unknown meant dangerous. Unknown meant panic. Relly slowly approached the bed, but her footsteps were tiny and cautious, like she expected the swelling to jump out at her. "It reacts to temperature changes," she whispered. "Look, when his body warms up, it increases in size." The scanner beeped as if agreeing. Mavus, the senior medic, rubbed his head. "Humans are strange creatures, but this This is something else. It grows with warmth, reacts with movement, and stays hidden most of the time. He gulped loudly. This is exactly how parasites behave. Relly's eyes widened. A parasite living inside the human's most sensitive area. That is terrifying. The medic stared at Evan with a new level of fear. Evan tried to shake his head, but only managed a weak twitch. No, not parasite, but the sedative blurred his voice. All they heard was, not safe. Mavos gasped. He says it's not safe. Relly covered her mouth. We must remove it before it reaches his organs. Nursa, who was the calmest among them, tried to think logically. It seems to be attached to nerve endings. If we cut it, the human may suffer intense pain. The others shivered. Pain was something their species barely understood. They lived soft, peaceful lives. Humans were different, rough, emotional, dramatic. But this level of pain? Even they felt uncomfortable imagining it. What if it's controlling him? Relly asked. What if it is making him weak so it can feed on him slowly? Mavos nodded slowly. Yes, parasites often weaken hosts. Nursa stepped closer to Evan, studying his face. He looked helpless, almost frustrated, as if he wanted to yell something, but couldn't. Her glowing hand rested on his arm. Evan, listen, we think something inside you may be hurting you. We are trying to help. Evan forced his eyes open. He tried to say the truth, but the sedative held his tongue down. It's normal. He whispered. The aliens leaned in. What is he saying? Relly asked. Nursa squinted. I heard, it's not normal. He is scared. Mavos nodded. We must protect him. We must act. Another medic entered the room carrying a silver device that hummed like a soft engine. What is that? Nursa asked. A bio-extractor, the medic said proudly. It can remove parasites without cutting open the host. Evan's eyes widened in horror. No, 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 no. Not that. But to the aliens, his widened eyes looked like fear of the parasite, not fear of them. He is terrified, Relly said softly. The parasite must be close to a nerve cluster. Mavos nodded. This is urgent. The medic raised the extractor. Nursa held up a hand. Wait, this could damage the human's anatomy. And I am not sure yet if the swelling is an organism or part of him. The room fell silent. Part of him? The alien stared at the hologram again. The scan clearly showed the swelling connected to nerve fibers, blood vessels, and tissue. Mavos gasped. Is it growing from his own body, like a mutated organ? Relly shivered. Humans are powerful but unpredictable. Maybe their bodies create strange shapes under stress. Nursa pinched her chin. We need expert confirmation. She turned toward the panel. Call Dr. Halloran. The room went even quieter. Dr. Halloran was the chief medical expert on human biology in the entire sector. He had studied humans for 12 years. If anyone knew the truth, it was him. A moment later, the doors slid open with a sharp hiss. Dr. Halloran entered the room, tall, glowing, serious, and extremely confident in all things science. He approached the bed slowly, studying Evan from head to toe. What is the emergency? He asked calmly. Nursa pointed to the hologram. Sir, the human patient has a rapidly growing swelling in the lower body. It reacts to movement, heat, and physical touch. The doctor looked at the swelling. His glowing eyebrows slowly lifted. His expression changed from calm to confused. 2. Horrified. Oh no, he whispered. Everyone leaned in closer. Relly trembled. Doctor? What is it? Dr. Halloran took a deep breath. It is. He hesitated, searching for words. It is something only humans experience. The staff gasped. Dr. Halloran continued. It is not a parasite. It is not a mutation. It is not an egg. It is not dangerous. It is a natural human reaction. The aliens stood frozen, as if their minds broke for a moment. Nursa whispered. Natural? How can something grow this fast and react this strongly? Dr. Halloran cleared his throat, embarrassed. It reacts to emotional changes, stress, fear, even certain thoughts. The room went silent, dead silent. Relly slowly raised a finger. Doctor, does this mean the swelling is supposed to happen? Yes, Dr. Halloran said firmly. This is completely normal, especially in young adult males. The entire medical team stared at Evan like he was some mythical creature. Nurse's face flushed purple, a sign of extreme embarrassment in her species. Mavis leaned close to Dr. Halloran and whispered loudly, Sir, do all human males have this type of reaction? Almost all, the doctor replied. Relly fainted onto a chair. Evan covered his face with both hands. Nursa turned off the alarm system quietly. The misunderstanding was finally revealed, but the embarrassment was just beginning. The room was still. Very still. The emergency alarms were finally silent. The flashing orange lights faded back to soft blue. But the embarrassment floating in the room was louder than any siren. Dr. Halloran stood with his hands behind his back, pretending to be calm even though his glowing skin pulsed with humiliation. Relly sat on a chair, head down, trying to hide the fact she had fainted from shock moments earlier. Mavos avoided looking directly at Evan, as if the human male was a dangerous creature with unpredictable powers, and Nursa stood by Evan's bedside, her face glowing a deep shade of purple, the alien color for extreme embarrassment. Evan slowly regained full consciousness. The sedative fog lifted from his mind like steam rising off warm metal. His breathing steadied. His eyes fluttered open. He found himself surrounded by terrified aliens staring at him like he had 3 heads. What? He whispered. Nursa swallowed hard. Evan, we owe you an apology. Evan blinked. For what? Mavos made a small sound that was half cough, half panic. We thought there was a creature living inside your body. Evan stared at them. Then he stared at the ceiling. Then he stared at them again. He wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. No, he whispered weakly. It's just normal. It's something that happens to human men. The aliens froze. Relly raised her hand slowly like a nervous student. Human men experience swelling as a natural part of life? Evan nodded. All 3 nurses gasped dramatically. Nursa placed a hand on her chest. So it was not a parasite. It was not an infection. It was not going to hatch. Evan's face turned red. No, definitely not an egg. Dr. Halloran sighed with deep relief. I knew this, but it has been a long time since I worked with male humans. I forgot how aggressively their bodies react. Evan looked at him with disbelief. You forgot? The doctor coughed. I have worked mostly with human women. They do not have this feature. Relly nodded quickly. Thank your stars for that, she whispered. Nursa took a careful breath and stepped closer. Her voice softened. Evan, can you explain? So we understand better? We do not want to panic again. Evan's embarrassment grew, but he could see the aliens were serious. They needed clarity, and maybe the truth would help them treat future humans without triggering alarms. Okay, I'll explain, he said softly. The aliens leaned in curious, nervous, ready to learn something completely new. Evan continued, keeping his voice steady. This part of the body reacts to different things: stress, fear, pain, sometimes emotion. It's not dangerous. It's not alive. It's not a parasite. It's just a body reaction. The aliens exchanged shocked looks. Mavos lifted a scanner. The reaction changed size rapidly. How does it do that? Evan covered his face with his hand. Blood flow, Nursa blinked. Blood goes there? Yeah, Evan replied. Lot. Relly almost fell off her chair again. Dr. Halloran cleared his throat. Humans evolved this way. It's tied to reproduction. And sometimes just random. The alien stared at Evan in pure fascination. Not fear anymore, just amazement at how bizarre human biology could be. Nursa looked down at her hands, then back at Evan. Her voice dropped to a gentle tone. And you were awake when we all panicked over it. Evan nodded slowly. Everyone blushed. Even the doctor's skin turned light purple. Please do not tell the station, Relly whispered. They already think humans are too emotional. If they hear this, they will think human anatomy is explosive. Evan chuckled weakly. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. A small smile finally formed on Nurse's face. Thank you. We really thought you were in danger. We wanted to help you. I know, Evan said softly. Thank you for trying. Silence. Settled again, this time kind and warm, but then the scanner beeped suddenly. Relly jumped. It moved again. Evan groaned. It's because you keep staring at me. The alien stepped back instantly. Nursa covered her face in embarrassment. We will try not to observe so directly. Evan laughed quietly. The tension broke. For the first time since he arrived, the room felt safe. Nursa placed a fresh blanket over him. We will treat your injuries now. The rest, we will simply ignore. Evan nodded. Good idea. Mavo stood up straighter. Nursa, you should update the medical manual. Clearly, this is important information for future human patients. Relly raised her hand again. Should we add a new category? Unexpected human swelling events? Evan shook his head quickly. No, please don't. Nursa smiled warmly. We will simply mark it as normal reaction. A sense of calm returned to the room. The aliens had learned something. Knew something strange, embarrassing, and surprisingly human. As Nursa applied medicine to Evan's burns, she spoke softly. You humans truly are full of surprises. Evan smiled weakly. Trust me. This is one of the smaller surprises. Nursa's eyes twinkled. Then I look forward to learning more. The bond between them grew stronger that moment, born from confusion, fear, and a misunderstanding. So big it activated the entire medical station. But now, they understood each other a little better. And the story was far from over. The medical room felt calmer now. But a strange silence still hung in the air. After the huge misunderstanding about the swelling, every alien in the room walked very carefully, as if any sudden move might trigger another embarrassing reaction. Evan lay under a clean blanket, feeling much better. The burns on his chest and arms were healing thanks to alien medicine. But now the aliens had a new mission. They wanted to understand human biology properly, and they wanted to do it without embarrassing anyone again. Nursa stood beside Evan with a small glowing device in her hands. Evan, we need to run a full body scan, she said gently. Not to panic, just to understand more about humans. Evan nodded. As long as it doesn't involve shaving or cutting anything, other than the normal stuff. Relly raised both hands quickly. No cutting. Never again. We promise, Mavos coughed. We only thought about it briefly. Evan shook his head. Yeah, please don't think too much. Nursa tried not to laugh. She activated the device. A soft blue wave spread over Evan's body like warm water. This device records nerve responses, blood flow, hormone levels, and emotional reactions, she explained. It helps us see how your body reacts to pain, stress, and injuries. Just don't scan the bottom half too closely, Evan requested with a nervous smile. The aliens all looked away immediately. Relly spoke quietly. We will not mention that area again, Mavos nodded. It will remain unspoken history. Dr. Halloran, however, cleared his throat. Still, we must understand human reactions. We cannot treat what we do not understand, Evan sighed. Okay, fine, but only scientifically, no weird ideas. Nursa placed her hand lightly on his forehead. Her touch was gentle and cool. We will go slowly. Do not worry. The scan begins. A ring of soft blue light floated around Evan's body. The brighter the ring glowed, the more information it collected. The screen beside Nursa filled with graphs, numbers and alien symbols. His heartbeat is strong, she announced. His lung tissue is healing fast, Mavos added. His nerves are very active. Relly said. Dr. Halloran stared at the data. Humans truly are incredible. Their bodies respond like fire, quick, intense, unpredictable. Evan raised an eyebrow. Is that a compliment? Yes, the doctor replied. A confusing one, Nursa smiled. Your species feels everything deeply. Pain, fear, hope, courage. Your body responds quickly. That is why you survive so many dangerous things. Evan felt warmth in his chest, not embarrassment this time. A real warm feeling. He said quietly. The reaction test. Nursa picked up another device shaped like a small orb. We need to test your reflexes. Hold out your hand. Evan lifted his hand slowly. Nursa placed the orb in his palm. It vibrated softly. Immediately the scanner showed increased signals in Evan's arm. Relly gasped. Look, his body reacts so fast. Mavos nodded. Humans have something called adrenaline. It makes their reactions sharp. Dr. Halloran added, that is also why they get sudden, swelling reactions. Evan covered his face. Please don't remind me. Nursa laughed softly. Do not worry. That part is not included in today's tests. Emotional response T. Then Nursa dimmed the room lights. Now we test emotional response. Just simple images. Nothing alarming. Relly projected holograms into the air. A calm beach. A mountain. A smiling alien child. A cute animal. The scanner showed soft waves. Good, Nursa said. His emotions are stable. Then Relly accidentally pressed the wrong button. A hologram of a giant fanged beast appeared. Evan jerked. The scanner spiked. Mavos shouted, Turn it off! Relly panicked, pressed another button, and a hologram of an alien wedding ritual appeared. Evan blinked awkwardly. What's that? Nursa turned bright purple again. That button was not for this room. Relly finally turned everything off. The screen showed a chaotic jumble of emotions. Dr. Halloran sighed. Your emotional spectrum is very wide. Evan laughed. Welcome to humanity. The heart of the TSD after the chaos settled. Nursa stood closer to Evan again. She placed her glowing hand over his chest. Near his heart. The room quieted. The scanner displayed Evan's heartbeat in soft waves. Nursa's voice was gentle. Humans have strong hearts, not just physically. Emotionally too. You saved miners in the tunnel. You protected others. Evan looked away shyly. Anyone would have. Mavos shook his head. Not anyone. Humans are brave. Even when they are weak. Dr. Halloran added, Your species is illogical. You risk your life for strangers. You face danger immediately. You act before thinking. Evan shrugged. Maybe we're built that way. Nursa smiled softly. Yes, built with courage. Evan felt something warm inside, deeper than embarrassment. Deeper than fear. For the first time, he felt seen. Not as a patient, not as a strange creature, but as a human. A new disc overway. Suddenly, the scanner beeped again. A new reading appeared. Nursa leaned forward. Interesting. What happened? Evan asked nervously. Dr. Halloran smiled. Your emotional reaction changed your muscle patterns. This is something we have not seen before, Relly gasped. We just discovered something new about human biology. Mavos looked excited. This could help us treat future humans better. Evan blinked. So, I helped science? Nursa nodded. Yes, you helped us understand your species more. And we helped you survive, Dr. Halloran added. Evan grinned. So we're even? Nursa laughed gently. More than even, we are connected now. Evan's heart skipped a beat. The scanner beeped again, Relly whispered. UFO, Evan groaned. No, that beep is not what you think. The aliens quickly looked away again. The medical station had finally settled into calm silence. For the first time since Evan arrived, nobody was screaming, fainting, or calling for emergency alarms. Relly was updating her tablet. Mavos was cleaning equipment, and Nursa was writing new notes about human emotional reactions. Evan lay back on the bed, relieved that things were normal again, but that normal lasted exactly 47 seconds, because suddenly, boom! The medical station doors slammed open so hard the walls vibrated. 3 tall alien soldiers stormed inside wearing full battle armor. Their helmets glowed red, and their weapons hummed with charged energy. Relly squeaked, "Oh no, not them!" Nursa stiffened. "The security division, why are they here?" Mavos took 2 steps back. "This must be about..." Evan sat up slightly. "Please don't say it's about the swelling again." But Relly whispered, "It's about the swelling." Again. The lead soldier, Captain Varek, pointed a glowing weapon toward Evan. "Where is the threat?" He shouted, voice booming through his armor speakers. "We received alerts about a human parasite, unknown moving swelling, and sudden biological spikes." Evan covered his face. "Oh, come on." Nursa stepped in front of the captain. "Captain, the threat was a misunderstanding. Everything is under control." Varek ignored her and scanned Evan with his helmet visor. The visor beeped loudly. The swelling reading still appeared on the scanner data. Relly whispered loudly, "Why does the scanner still show that?" "Didn't we fix it?" Mavos whispered back, "It's natural." "We can't delete natural readings." The soldiers tightened their grip on their weapons. Captain Varek looked at Evan like he was a ticking bomb. "You," Varek barked. "Human. Male, stay still. Do not activate the swelling." Evan blinked. "Activate? What? It's not a weapon." Varek spoke dramatically. "We have lost soldiers to alien parasites. We will not lose another to a human one." "It's not a parasite." Evan groaned. Nursa stepped forward sharp and firm. "Captain Varek, stand down." "I repeat, stand down." But soldiers rarely listened to nurses, especially ones glowing purple with embarrassment. The soldiers misinterpret Eva Ungji, the second soldier. A tall female named Cilia pressed buttons on her wrist pad. "Captain, the swelling area is increasing in temperature again." All aliens froze. All except Evan. He raised both hands. "It increases when I'm stressed. And I'm stressed because you're pointing guns at me." The third soldier whispered, horrified, "It reacts to fear. It's feeding on him." Evan let out a strangled laugh. "Feeding? No, it's just biology." But to the soldiers, human biology was more terrifying than any battlefield. The captain stepped closer. "Slowly, we must neutralize it before it explodes." Nursa shouted, "It is not an explosive." Mavos added, "It is not a creature." Relly whispered, "It is not a weapon." Evan sighed deeply. "It's just my body. Please believe me." But the soldiers were not convinced. Captain Varek took out a glowing cube. "This device can freeze parasites instantly. Hold him still. I will extract the creature." Evan turned pale. "No, please keep that thing away from me." Cilia raised her weapon. "Do not move, human. If you move, the swelling will grow." Evan shouted, "You are making it worse." The scanner beeped again. Everyone gasped. Nursa pinched her eyes. "Shut. Of course it beeped. He's terrified." The nurse takes CONTAO at that moment. Nursa snapped. She stepped between Evan and the soldiers with calm, commanding energy. Her silver eyes glowed brighter than their armor lights. "Enough. This human is my patient. Lower your weapons now." Captain Varek frowned. "Nurse Nursa, this is a security risk." "You are the risk," she replied sharply. "You are causing the swelling to increase by making him panic." Cilia blinked. So, the swelling reacts to emotions? Yes, Nursa said, arms crossed. And humans have many emotions. Too many, actually, Mavos muttered. Far too many. The soldiers looked confused. Varric lowered his weapon. Slightly. So you're saying, this is not a parasite? No. Not a creature? No. Not a biological weapon? No. Varric looked at Evan. So what is it? Evan sighed. Sir, it's just a normal part of my body. The soldiers stared at him. Celia whispered, your species is terrifying. Evan shrugged. Welcome to humanity. The turning point. Nursa guided the soldiers to the side and showed them the updated medical chart. This swelling happens naturally. It is harmless. Do not attack it. Do not freeze it. And do not try to extract it. The soldiers listened carefully. Captain Varric scratched his head. Then why were the alarms triggered? Mavos raised a finger proudly. Because we thought it was an alien parasite trying to eat him alive. Varric stared at him. And was it? No, Mavos said. But it could have been. Varric groaned into his helmet. I hate medical shifts. A moment of RESP. Slowly. The soldiers lowered their weapons. Varric stepped closer to Evan. But in a calmer way now. Human. Evan Carter. You survived an explosion, saved miners, and then survived a medical team ready to operate on your swelling. Evan nodded awkwardly. I guess I did. Varric placed a hand over his chest, a gesture of respect. You are stronger than we expected. Evan blinked in surprise. Thank you. Nursa smiled softly. See, not everything ends in misunderstanding. Relly raised her hand. Most things do. Mavos nodded. Yes, most. But for the first time, Evan felt like everyone in the room was finally on the same page. No fear. No panic. Just understanding. Well, mostly. Because the scanner beeped one more time. The soldiers shouted. What was that? Evan yelled, nothing, stop reacting. And Nursa facepalmed so hard her glowing hand left a print of light on her forehead. Asterisk. The medical station was finally quiet. Again. After the chaos with the soldiers, after the alarms, after the accidental parasite investigation, everything finally settled. Evan lay on the bed, breathing comfortably. His burns were almost healed. His mind was clearer. And most importantly, nobody was pointing a weapon at him. Nursa stood beside him, holding a glowing clipboard. Relly sat on a stool, still looking embarrassed. Mavos cleaned tools for the 20th time. He always cleaned tools when stressed. Dr. Halloran kept pacing, rereading the medical report, shaking his head at every line about the swelling incident. The soldiers had left the room, but not without giving Evan the strangest salute he'd ever seen. Something between respect, apology, and confusion. For a moment, everyone simply enjoyed the calm. Then Nursa cleared her throat gently. Evan, she said, voice softer than ever before. We discharge you. We need to check one last thing. Evan sighed dramatically. If anyone even mentions the swelling again. It's not that, Nursa interrupted quickly, cheeks turning faint purple. This is different, important. Everyone gathered close, suddenly serious. Even Evan sat up straighter. What's wrong now? He asked carefully. Dr. Halloran tapped the screen. Your earlier scan showed something unusual. Not about the swelling. He lifted a finger. Something inside your heart. Evan froze. My heart. Nursa nodded. Yes, during the emotional tests, your heart showed a pattern that we have never seen in humans before. Relly stepped forward. It changed rhythm when you talked to us, specifically when you joked, trusted us, and stayed calm. Mavos added, it wasn't fear or stress. It was something else. Dr. Halloran looked Evan straight in the eyes. Human science calls this a bond reaction. Evan blinked. A bond? Like friendship? Yes, Nursa said softly. A sign of trust, connection, a human forming a bond with non-human species. The room fell quiet. Relly whispered, "But humans don't bond with us this fast." Mavos nodded. "It usually takes weeks, sometimes months." Nursa looked at Evan with gentle eyes. "Your heart reacted to us like we are friends." Evan stared at them slowly. "Well, I mean, you saved my life. You helped me. And you didn't freeze off my, Relly hid her face. "Please don't remind me." Nursa smiled with pride. "You trusted us, even when we misunderstood everything." Evan smiled back genuinely. "Of course I trusted you. You kept me alive. You cared." The room grew warm with shared understanding. Dr. Halloran tapped the tablet. "Your unique reaction means something important. You humans bond differently from everyone else. Stronger, faster, deeper." Relly whispered, "It's like you connected with us." Nursa nodded. "And we connected with you." Evan felt a soft heat in his chest, not embarrassment, not pain, just warmth. A good warmth. The unexpected UNCD dare. Halloran raised his voice. "Because of this, the medical council has decided something important." Everyone leaned. "And you, Evan Carter, are now officially qualified to become the first human ambassador for medical cooperation on our moon." Evan's eyes widened. "Ambassador? Me?" Nursa nodded happily. "You understand us. You helped us understand humans. And you stayed calm, even during the swelling confusion." Evan groaned. "I will never escape that, will I?" Mavo smiled. "It is history now. Medical history." Relly added, "We will put it in the learning manual, carefully." Evan covered his face. "Please. No illustrations." Nursa laughed softly. "We promise." A special GIFT. The room's lights dimmed. A small drone floated in from the hallway, carrying a shining golden badge dot. It projected a hologram of the station's emblem. A star inside a circle of healing light. Dr. Halloran pinned it gently to Evan's shirt. "This badge means you are trusted by our medical community. It is a very rare honor." Evan swallowed. "I don't know what to say." Nursa stepped closer. "Say whatever your heart feels." Evan looked at them, all of them, and spoke slowly. "You treated me like more than a patient. You treated me like someone who mattered. Even when things got awkward." Relly blushed purple. "Very awkward." Evan laughed softly. "But you still cared. You protected me. You believed me when I could barely talk. So, thank you." Nursa smiled warmly. "And thank you for trusting us. Humans are brave. You proved it again." Their eyes met, alien silver and human brown, and something gentle passed between them. A respect. A bond. A beginning. The final tide west, just when the moment felt perfect. The scanner beeped one more time. Everyone froze. Relly whispered, "Please tell me that is not the swelling again." Nursa checked the screen. Her eyes widened. "It's not the swelling. It's his stomach." Mavos gasped. "Is it another human reaction?" Dr. Halloran shouted. "Is he going to explode?" Evan blinked. Then his stomach growled loudly. "Oh," he said. "I'm just hungry." The alien stared. "Hungry?" Nursa sighed in relief. "Thank the stars." Relly collapsed dramatically. "I thought we needed another emergency team." Evan chuckled, rubbing his stomach. "Relax, humans get hungry. It's normal." Mavos wrote on his tablet. "New entry. Human stomach noises are not danger signs." Dr. Halloran added, "And do not call soldiers for it." Nursa finally laughed, the soft musical kind of laugh that made the room brighter. "Come," she said. "You are healed. Let us get you food." Evan stood, slowly but confidently. "For the record," he said, smiling, "please don't send soldiers next time my body does something normal." Nursa smiled back. "No promises."